Hey there, I'm Kyrsatile, and welcome to another Speedbuild. Now, this is continuing on in the series where I essentially set myself up for failure by asking some of my friends to give me a color, and then I did a build based on that color. The last build was aqua blue, and this build was thankfully not a shade, but the entire color orange, which was given to me by my friend Dev, which in retrospect from the other colors that people picked, I quite appreciate. Now, at the time, I was working with kind of a limited definition of what Sims 4 considers to be orange, because someone else had at the time picked salmon pink, though I did salmon pink after I did the orange one, before I realized that you can't actually make a functional house in just salmon pink. However, I feel like the orange build turned out really well, and unlike the aqua one where I pretty much roasted my friend Kina for 10 minutes straight, I'm actually not going to roast Dev for this one because the orange one was quite fun. It's not the prettiest house to look at overall in my personal opinion, but I'm also not a massive fan of the color orange, so I am most definitely biased against it. However, for working with what color I had, orange, and the fact that Sims 4 doesn't have all that many orange options compared to some other colors, i.e. blue, red, I think I actually did pretty well on this one, and I managed to make out at least mostly cohesive looking build. You'll obviously have to let me know if I've just got my head up my own ass or not on that one. But I kinda like it, and I do think I want to continue this series beyond just the 4 colors that I asked my friends to give me. So if you guys have any suggestions on colors, be sure to leave it in the comments, and I might just see what I can do with it. Now, the other advantage to having the entire orange spectrum to work with here was that I didn't have to build a palette wall and accidentally discovered that there's only 3 walls. And I feel like I've actually been able to get really creative with a lot of builds doing this series, because there are a lot of pieces of furniture and wallpapers and tiles that I normally wouldn't use most of the time. Like, again, as I just said, I'm not really an orange person. I don't use orange that much. However, looking back on it, I might start having to use orange more, because there are some good pieces of orange furniture that I usually just ignore. So, like these orange curtains here, I actually really kind of like them. So instead of like my standard picks of yellow or blue or green or whatever for bedrooms, I might have to start putting orange in a standard lineup there, because I definitely won't be making an entire house in orange again, because I feel like it just gets kind of overwhelming at some point. But individual rooms, maybe. Now, I'm not really sure, gonna be entirely honest here, how to do this whole talk about the build I'm doing thing, because it's a speed build, it's a house, there's nothing that really comes to mind immediately. Like, I'm not using any special techniques, I'm not using any special tools, like the tool mod or anything, so there's nothing really to explain aside from standard build techniques. It's all stuff that comes with practice, and obviously I'm sticking to a palette here, so it's even more simplistic than your standard build, because I have a limited choice of things to go with, so I'm just really making things work. With what I have, I don't have to think about complementary colors or anything that contrasts or clashes weirdly. It's all things that just kind of come with practice, because I will be entirely honest, back when Sims 4 came out, I was an absolutely shit builder, much to my mother's dismay, because obviously back when I was 13 or whatever, when this game came out, we would share a single copy of the game, and she ended up seeing some of the horrible things I created in my younger years, which I do feel that I have gotten better, but that still means I have tarnished the gallery with some of the abominations I thought were decent when I was younger, and I apologize for that in retrospect. But this challenge has definitely helped to improve my skills a little bit, I think, because I've had to work with things I wouldn't normally, so it's made me think more about the physical aspect of building over just the pure decorative, because I have to really make the space work and have it all kind of sit together. Like, orange is a warm color, and warm colors kind of really easily make an environment seem more open and more friendly and inviting, and it doesn't have many of the contrasts of a cooler color to make something seem more closed off. So I kind of really had to work with the warmer, more inviting side, and I had to make it feel not completely overwhelming while I was at it. So things ended up kind of being more physically cluttered to make some of that coziness and relaxed feeling you get in, say, a blue room or something. Because, well, yes, orange can be a very cozy color. Generally, it's something that I personally feel, obviously opinions vary, is something you'd want to use in moderation, just to kind of accent a room and make it feel warmer and more inviting, whereas an entire room gets really overwhelming really fast. It's kind of like other colors, like blues, where blue is a really cold color and really cool, and it can almost feel claustrophobic if it's the overwhelming color of a room, especially the darker blues. What blues? Fucking that word. Like, cobalt blue or sapphire blue can all feel really claustrophobic and dense almost. So when I'm building with those colors, I generally try and make the room more sparsely decorated, etc. Really go based off just the feel of the color rather than the content of the room. But this, I had to play into the warmness, and I had to space everything so it felt kind of like the entire house was like sitting in front of a really nice fireplace or a really nice campfire or something. And that was kind of a challenge, because I'm one of the weird freaks of nature that really enjoys a densely cluttered build. But not a lot of things come in orange, and orange had to, I felt, kind of needed all of the clutter, but it didn't have a lot of clutter in orange, so I just ended up slapping a fuck ton of plants everywhere, which is a standard thing in my build. But I also did this half-wall technique to kind of have an open window rather than have a really big picture window like I like to include in my builds. So it added a physical openness too, so to counteract the warm, like really nice look out onto the blue water of the island, etc. So I was using the environment as a contrast to the build rather than just the items in the build itself, which isn't something I've really been that good at in the past. But I decided that it's on an island, I may as well take advantage of that. Now, we are approaching the end of the build here, so as always, I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave some color suggestions in the comments, and if I haven't already done the color, I will try and do it in a future build. Now, as always, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.